Hello, all, and welcome to the weekly podcast. I'm your host, Gurtej Atwal. In today's podcast, we have an accomplished policymaker who motivates everybody around him. We'll learn from his experiences and lifelong learning in policymaking. We thank and welcome San Joaquin County Supervisor Miguel Villapudua.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, Miguel. So, Miguel, majority of us, we know you. You are a grassroots person, always involved in the community. But for our audience, they want to learn a little bit more about you. Will you please share your personal and policy-making journey with us?
Sure, absolutely. Well, you know what? I was born and raised there from a rather large Hispanic family, and I have two brothers and two sisters. And you know what? Grew up on the east side of Stockton. Went to Franklin High School, Delta College, and I got in the early age. I got into real estate, and then I got into the transportation business. And later in life, my cousin Carlos Villapudua, who's now the assembly member, he appointed me to the Planning Commission, and that was a lot of fun. So from 2008 to 2016, I was actually a planning commissioner for San Joaquin County, and that kind of opened the doors for a lot of different things. I got to meet a lot of good people, and I got to see how basically the county works and how planning was. You're a planning commissioner, right? So you kind of know. You meet a lot of people, and you can see what kind of businesses are going to be opening in the county, and you get to have your input and so forth. And then basically around 2015, 2016, my cousin Carlos basically said, "Hey, Miguel, why don't you run for office?" And I thought long and hard about it and talked to a lot of people and supporters, and I decided to run, and it's been a blessing. So I do thank my cousin Carlos for that. It's been a blessing, and I've gotten involved in the community, and I've wanted a hands-on approach, and met a lot of good people, and I tried to help a lot of people along the way, and it's been a blessing. It's been fun.
No, thank you very much, Miguel. Yeah, you are always with the community. So I was just saying, so maybe more than 200 events you attend in a year. So working 6 days a week.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, the events are there's a lot of events, and there's also a lot of committee meetings. I'm on 21 committees, and between the committee events and the meetings, and the meetings you have with individuals in the community, you're spread pretty thin. So it's a interesting job because you're always shaking and baking. You're always moving, and the phone rings a lot. You get a lot of texts. My phone's ringing right now. You get a lot of texts, you get a lot of phone calls, and you're always on the run. And you got to have I never had a calendar before I was in office. I kind of just remember what I had to do. But now, if I don't have a calendar, I'm pretty much lost.
So, yeah, no, it's a different way of working. Like you are one of that policymaker who wants to be with the people. So
right.
200 events. That's maybe the base margin, but you tend to attend a lot and working 7 days a week. So do you think that kind of experience or that kind of exposure, just being with the grassroots people, it helped you understand more what the grassroots issues are?
Well, absolutely. You know what? If you're in touch and you're engaged in the community, and you talk to people and you go to different events and you meet different people, and you kind of know more or less what's going on, and you're engaged, I think it makes it that much easier to make decisions, for the community. You make common sense decisions. You know what makes sense because you're engaged and you're involved. And so I'd like to say that I've been in office going on 5 years now. I've made a real good effort to connect with everyone and try to be engaged and try to make every community event I can and make common sense decisions for people to have a good quality of life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We all see you as a facilitator, not somebody who is not reachable. You are always there, and you tend to solve problems by engaging people.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I work pretty hard at it. Try to be a facilitator. That's what it is, really.
Yeah. So you have a long experience, like you are involved in policy, and you were your education. You are part of Stockton since long, and in policy making since 2008. So what kinds of prominent issues you think that our Central Valley, especially San Joaquin County, has, and what is your approach towards that?
Well, you know what? The issue that comes up in every discussion is probably homelessness. There's a big, obviously, everybody that's on their mind: illegal dumping, homelessness, COVID's a big issue. but you know what? You try to give it your best. The homeless issue, I believe, is more of a California issue. I mean, if we were to, if you were to go up and down the state of California, there's a homeless issue, and it's a California problem, is what I see. But everybody wants to talk about it. Like, what are we doing about it? You know, we try to build shelters, but the problem is it's wraparound services for everyone. Everybody needs help, but it can be overwhelming. You know, we have between 2,000 and 3,000 homeless people in San Joaquin County, and there's surrounding counties that have the same issue. So as many people as we want to take care of, believe me, if we're taking care of them, they will come here, and we're always going to have that issue.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest issue that everybody wants to talk about at the moment, and, you know, in our discussions. So we're always trying to, you know, create action by thinking of different ways to help people, either that being shelters or going out in the streets and try to feed the homeless or create shelters. And you know, the bottom line is that most of the people who are homeless, they have to want to be helped, and a lot of times we want to help them, they don't want to be helped. So we're always fighting that battle of let's help the people who want to be helped, and the people who don't want to be helped. Yeah, you know, they're gonna do their own thing. That's the problem.
Right. No, Miguel, you are like a hands-on person who likes to work with the communities, who have seen you at many cleaning up events and talking about the homeless thing. Your office is always proactive.
Right.
It helps finding beds for the homeless. So, what do you expect from the common citizens? So, how they should be educated about the homelessness issue and how they can add value in that?
Well, recently in our last board meeting, probably I want to say 2 meetings ago, we basically issued funds to different cities. I want to say we give the city of Manteca 2.5 million, the city of Lodi, I want to say 1.5 million, the city of Tracy. You know, we offered the city of Stockton 6.5 million, and they're still debating it. So basically, you know, we're trying to give the cities an opportunity to help their cause, you know, to help the people they have and the issues they're having. But it has to be a team effort between the cities and the counties. It's a big issue that needs to be looked at from everyone, not just the county, but all the cities. And we're trying our best. Like I said, I believe that we need more state and federal help. It's just a big issue, and you know, nobody wants to see homeless people in their community. You know, they pay taxes and they demand clean streets, and you know, they don't want to see what's going on the side of the freeways and in the parks. So I get it. I'm just as frustrated as everybody else. But
Right.
as soon as we do a cleanup and we move them, they can be back within, you know, 7 days. And we're always fighting that battle. And law enforcement is frustrated also because, you know, they're trying to help us. And they try to help, you know, clear areas. And as soon as they clear the area, they're back. So it's very frustrating.
Right. No, there's not one solution, as you mentioned. Yeah, all the cities have to be involved. All the citizens have to be engaged. The
Right.
smaller approaches maybe eventually will get a good solution about it.
Right.
And, about the water storage, so you always voiced at the Capitol opposing the Delta Tunnel, and you wrote letters as well in its
Right.
opposition.
Right.
So
Water's always going to be a big issue.
Right.
The problem right now is there's not enough water. I mean, we're in a drought, and unfortunately, we need a snowpack, and we need to refill our reservoirs, and very complicated issue because water is a new oil,
Right.
and it's we just need more of it. We need to pray for rain. We need more water. We need a snowpack, and it's kind of tough to argue about something we don't have a lot of. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone has to be educated. Yeah, these are some concerns that in Central Valley, so that you are the policymaker, you are at the first forefront of those. But yeah, we should be talking about this so we can help you, kind of guide you through. So how
Right.
the issues can be approached.
Right.
So then, as your education was from Stockton, so throughout your whole life you stayed here. So one trend we are seeing that whoever is getting, like, after college, getting colleges from somewhere, they are not moving back to where their schooling was,
Right.
and there's a kind of a brain drain.
Well, you know
And
what? If you're from Stockton, if you have your roots here, you're going to want to come back. You know,
Right.
If people get an education and they decide to leave, I get it. But the people who were really born here and their parents are here, their families here. I'm Hispanic and I have a large family, and I wanted to be home and I want to be next to my family. You know, I stayed home, and and a lot of my friends did too. And I believe it's your roots. You're gonna want to be where your roots are. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. One can add more value. They day-to-day life, they can engage more. They are aware of the grassroots issues. They have family, and they can add more value if more opportunities are given to them where they grew up.
yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes,
And for the literacy front, you are a huge proponent that everybody has to be literate. Everybody should
yes,
be, the kids should be reading, they should be better facilities, they should be
yes.
learning the skill set. So, from that perspective, what are your thoughts? So, how that can be improved?
Well, you know what? We need more books. We need more children to be focused on reading. We need there's too many social activities right now as far as phones and social media. So we're trying to get back into the aspect of education when they go to school. Learn how to read a book instead of looking at your phone. Read a book, and it's a huge issue for a lot of people. And our education system is. I think it needs a little work. We need to focus more at a younger age. I'm on a committee called First Five right now, and it's for children 0 through 5. And I think that's when a child develops their mindset. And as many more books we can put in front of a child 0 through 5, so they can at least look at pictures and start to read and try to focus on mental images of reading. I think it'd be better for everyone in the future.
Right. Yeah, no, you did a lot during this COVID. This was a kind of something unexpected everybody has to face. So now slowly, eventually we are moving away and businesses, everything is opening up. So
Right.
what is the message around COVID to the citizens you have?
Yeah, the message is pick up a book and read a book.
Right.
Focus on your mental state, and stay off social media so much. Social media. I mean, I understand people want to see what's going on, but opening a book and reading a book, especially for a young child in high school or middle school or elementary, that can go a long ways.
And your education was from Delta School,
I went
Delta
to Delta
College.
College. Yes,
Yeah, so Delta College is a very good resource here. We have to teach the skill sets. So
absolutely.
so how do you encourage kids so they should be more learning towards the skills, towards the trades? Eventually, they can move on.
It's a good question how to approach it. But my message is, hey, listen, stay off your phone and pick up a book and try to make yourself a better person by reading. And it's hard to say because these phones are attached to us; they're a part of us. But my message is read a book.
Right. No, thank you. And another thing, what we are seeing with this COVID is like everybody was home. They needed to go out, like
Right,
the bike lanes and all that thing. So in San Joaquin County, we have not that much bike lanes. So
right.
what is your thought in that direction? Because eventually, uh, that is a good habit where one gets out of their home, gets some exercise, and gets some free air.
It's a tough situation. You know what? Our public works system is amazing. They do the best they can, but bike lanes are a huge asset to the community. And I think in our general plan, if you look for the next 20 years, we are looking at more parks, more bike lanes. We're trying to put the infrastructure in to have more bike lanes. But as of right now, the roads are dangerous to put bike lanes. Some of these rural streets are like freeways. People are traveling very fast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always advisable for citizens to take caution, and wherever they have the bike lanes, please use them. Unless,
Correct.
yeah, there is planning and everything is in place. Eventually, we'll get there.
Correct.
And logistically, our San Joaquin County, I was reading that is at the numbers 2 throughout the United States from the logistic part, like trucking, all the warehouses. So it's at the top. So what's your message for all who are involved in the logistic business? So that is growing. So how they can improve themselves and grow in that business.
So the question again is, I'm sorry?
So the logistics, like the
Right.
trucking industry and warehouses. So San Joaquin County, it is at number 2 place
Right.
throughout the United States. It's one of the logistic hub like
No doubt
Tracy,
about it. Yeah.
Lathrop. So how do you think that will change the whole dynamic of our San Joaquin County?
It's a good question. There's no doubt about the logistics have taken over San Joaquin County. If you go to Tracy, I mean, some of the size of the warehouses, they're Prologics. Some of their buildings are just ginormous. And, we have Amazon here. You know what? It's a good question for everyone. I mean, how do we handle it, So my message is, you know what? Go to school, study hard, and get a good job,
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are having more and more job opportunities with this logistic thing. Yeah, one can learn the trades or those kinds of things related to those and can stay in our San Joaquin County.
Right.
Yeah, and for the young kids, so who may be thinking like you are very much involved and a role model for many around in the field of policymaking. So some school going or college going student looking towards you and learn from you how they can approach, what steps they can take if they want to be in policymaking.
It's a good question. You know what? I recommend they attend as many social events as possible and find out what's going on in their community and make friends. I'm thinking making friends is probably the biggest thing. You never know who's going to be, who can help you.
Right.
And you're growing up, you're always going to be a politician in life, either by connecting with the right people, making good friends, and working hard and being a good person. You got to be a good person if you want to, if you want to be in this field. And majority of people, 99% of the people I meet in this field, they're all good people, and we all have the same meaning. Let's make life better for the community. So.
Thank you. Yeah. They have to be more involved, a good listener, and if eventually they will not opt that field, but still they will have an opportunity to learn from somebody whom they meet in those events and those meetings.
Right, no doubt about it.
And it was a healthy discussion. And if I missed something, so any message or anything that comes to your mind?
Well, I would say my message is if you're young, I want you to go to school and I want you to study hard and make good decisions in life and make your parents proud because, your parents work hard for young people to have a successful life like my parents did. My parents worked really hard in order for me to be successful in life. And so for all the children out there who are going to school, respect your parents, respect your brothers and sisters, respect your coaches, your teachers, because they're looking out for you and they want the best for you. As an elected official, I can tell you that makes me proud when I go to graduations and to see people succeed. I'm a big believer of faith. So if you have good faith, you're going to do well in life. And so for all these young people, I want you to study hard and listen to your mentors, your teachers, your coaches, your mothers and fathers, and you're going to do great in life.
No, thank you very much, Miguel. We all sincerely appreciate your work towards the community as attending, being part of those events. You are taking time from your family, you are taking time from your loved ones to make a positive change in the community.
No, I appreciate you having me very much. And to everyone out there, thank you for supporting me always. And I'm always available for any questions or anything like that.
Sure. And we'll encourage our listeners, if you have any follow-up questions from Miguel, he's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can always reach out to him or you can let us know. We can always forward those questions for him and you can get those answered. And in the end, I'll again thank you, Miguel, and thank you everybody for listening.
Anytime. You call me anytime. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.